name's Gabe Zollner. You know what amazes me? Is there was so much evidence that Obama is in fact an imposter. It's unbelievable. You know, you remember when Sheriff Joe and Mike Zulu began their investigation and they did their first press release and then they did a second press release? Remember some of the incredibly strange events that they uncovered. For example, when Obama is a little baby and his money supposedly came from Indonesia back to Hawaii, the cold case posse tried to find airplane tickets that they might have taken. Well, those weren't available. But what they did find is they went and they checked the INS records. That's the Immigration Naturalization Services records that are maintained when anybody enters the country using a foreign passport. Now, what's amazing is that for that 1 week when Obama was born, you know, and this is microfiche, that's the only week of information that's missing in the INS records. Now, you take that by itself, that's a whole lot. You take his Social Security number, which has been proven to have belonged to somebody that was born in 1890 in Connecticut. And Social Security numbers aren't recycled. You take his military registration card with the 1980 and the 19 missing, and a federal requirement is that all four numbers have to be in that little location. But they couldn't find a 1980. So they took a 2080, cut off the 20, and inverted it, just like Mike Zulu showed us on that press release. You take into consideration everything else about this person, including the fact that his first official act was to bury his entire past. Why would anyone do that? You take into consideration that he didn't take advantage of a $5 million offer that was made to him by Donald Trump, just by simply releasing his records. You take into consideration all that insanity in Hawaii, where they're not going to release the document because they know either it doesn't exist or it's different than that forged document that's on that crime scene on the official White House website. And the governor of Hawaii, Abercrombie, he's as complicit as anybody else. It doesn't stop. And now we've got, I believe there is no escape, and that is Benghazi. The administration can be taken apart based on their complicity having orchestrated Benghazi. And the truth will come out. Okay? Obama saw it go down real time. Why was a predator overhead? It doesn't make any sense. There was no reason to have a predator overhead. This wasn't an embassy. This was simply a facility where the trading was going to take place for weapons. That's why the ambassador was there. And he was supposed to have been kidnapped. That was the plan. They had traded him for the blind sheik. That way, Mohammed Morsi would have been able to fulfill his promise. Obama would have been a hero because look what he just did. He saved the ambassador's life. And he would have been a hero with the Muslims. Why? Because he freed the blind sheik. It was a total win-win. He needed something big before the election. And he got it. And then they had to lie about what happened because it blew up in their face. When Woods and Doherty went against 3 stand-down orders. Why were all the generals that were involved in trying to support this effort fired? Why was General Ham fired? I mean, there's no end to the corruption. And it's so obvious, it's like the end of my nose. It's so obvious, yet nothing is being done. That is the key. Benghazi is the key to end this nightmare. God, I hope it happens.